The moment my sister Isabella announced her engagement, everything in my world tilted sideways. We were at our favorite little wine bar in Lincoln Park, the kind of place with dim lights and exposed brick walls that felt cozy and safe. Bella burst through the door, her cheeks flushed, holding out her hand like she was presenting the most precious treasure on earth. A 2-carat princess-cut diamond caught the light, sparkling almost mockingly. "He proposed," she squealed, her voice high with pure joy. Everyone around us erupted in cheers, clinking glasses and hugging her. I forced a smile onto my face, but inside my stomach twisted with a cold dread I couldn't shake. My eyes drifted past Bella to Ethan Caldwell, her fiancé. He stood there looking every bit the perfect catch. Tall, polished in a tailored suit, with that easy smile that made people trust him instantly. But his gaze wasn't on Bella or the ring. It was locked on the counter where she'd casually set down the folder containing the deed to her $780,000 condo, the stunning 2-story space she'd inherited from our grandparents. His eyes narrowed slightly, calculating, assessing value. I'd seen that exact look before, in too many family disasters. My name is Olivia Bennett. At 29, I worked as a junior associate specializing in trusts and estates at a downtown Chicago firm. Law school had given me the tools, but growing up in our chaotic Bennett household had taught me the real lessons about how money warps people. Bella, 32, was my opposite in every way, romantic dreamer to my cautious realist, generous heart to my skeptical mind. She had turned that inherited condo into a showpiece straight from design magazines, exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the park, a creative haven that doubled as her safety net. Our family history was littered with financial wreckage. Dad chased one get-rich scheme after another, pizza franchises that folded before the first oven heated up, import-export opportunities that existed mostly in his imagination, multi-level marketing ventures that filled our garage with unsold inventory. Mom went along, always hopeful, draining savings accounts and second mortgages. I remembered being 8 years old, eating plain oatmeal for dinner while Dad promised the latest investment would turn everything around. Bella, 10 at the time, would draw colorful pictures to tape over the cracks in our walls, trying to make our stressed home feel magical. By the time I was 16, I was secretly reading financial statements, trying to track where the money disappeared. At 18, I decided to become a lawyer to shield people from the manipulation I'd witnessed. Bella coped differently, retreating into art and beauty, believing love could fix anything. Our grandparents saw it clearly. Before they passed, Grandma pulled me aside one Thanksgiving. Her hands, rough from years of hard work, gripped mine tightly. "Olivia, you're the practical one. Promise you'll watch over Bella. Her heart is gold, but gold attracts thieves." They left the Lincoln Park condo to Bella and a smaller sum to me, knowing I'd build my own security. Ethan had entered Bella's life 6 months earlier at an art gallery opening. He had an MBA from a reputable school, talked about his tech startup nearing big funding rounds, drove a leased luxury car, and showered Bella with weekend getaways and thoughtful compliments. But the compliments always looped back to her condo, how valuable Lincoln Park real estate had become, how smart it would be to optimize their assets together. His business stories had holes, funding always 2 weeks away, partners perpetually unavailable, an office he never showed us. I'd run a quiet background check, occupational habit, 2 broken engagements to women with property assets, 3 failed businesses with bankruptcies reframed as restructurings, bitter ex-partners. Yet Bella glowed. She'd already sketched wedding ideas for a spring ceremony at the Botanic Garden. Ethan had moved in temporarily while his supposed new place was renovated, a place I doubted existed. Standing there in the wine bar watching her happiness, I knew I couldn't repeat history. Our parents had burned through grandparents' modest savings. Uncles and cousins descended like vultures after the funerals, claiming verbal promises. The will held firm, but the resentment lingered. I couldn't let Bella become another victim, but accusing Ethan without proof would shatter her. I needed a better way. That night, alone in my apartment, I pulled out our grandparents' will again. There, in Grandma's handwriting, a note I'd overlooked. The condo was Bella's birthright, but I was its guardian. Do what must be done. The words hit me like a sign. Memories flooded back, Dad's optimistic pitches turning to blame games. Mom's tears over credit card statements. The December the power got shut off. I had learned to read documents early. Bella had learned to find beauty in hardship. Grandparents had updated their will intentionally, adding vague protective clauses. 3 years ago, Bella signed a durable power of attorney before surgery so I could handle her affairs. It was never revoked. In my trusts class, I'd studied irrevocable trusts with spendthrift provisions, structures that let beneficiaries enjoy use while shielding the asset from creditors or predators. I decided it was risky, ethically gray, potentially relationship ending if discovered too soon. But Ethan's possessive hand on Bella's shoulder, his thumb tracing the brick wall like calculating resale value, left no choice. I would become the villain in her love story to save her future. The next days blurred into research. I reached out to a trusted colleague outside my firm for advice on structuring it quietly. Bella remained unaware, still floating on engagement bliss, planning details while Ethan pushed subtle hints about equity and investments. My resolve hardened with every red flag. Weeks after the engagement, tension simmered beneath family celebrations. The party at a historic Chicago venue was Ethan's idea. He loved projecting old money sophistication. I arrived early, watching from the bar as he worked the room. Every conversation circled back to real estate appreciation in Lincoln Park or leveraging Bella's condo for future ventures. He spoke of we as if the property was already joint. Bella looked radiant in a rented designer dress, laughing at his jokes, oblivious to the undercurrents. I remembered another family Thanksgiving when Grandma warned me again. The house had echoed with arguments, Dad demanding more capital for his latest venture, Uncle claiming shares of non-existent profits. Grandma's words echoed, Bella sees the world as it should be, not as it is. That's dangerous. Ethan's mask slipped one evening on the terrace. Hidden behind a pillar, I overheard him on a call with an old roommate. He bragged about Illinois equitable distribution laws, how inheritances stayed separate and less commingled, but marriage and refinancing could change that. Once we're hitched, and I'm on the deed, half is mine. Play the devoted husband long enough, walk away with nearly 400 grand. His laugh was low and ugly. My phone recorded it instinctively. Proof. But not enough for Bella. She'd dismiss it as my cynicism projecting family scars. I needed ironclad protection. Consulting a specialist, we crafted an irrevocable trust named after our grandparents. Using the old power of attorney and the will's protective clause, I transferred the condo quietly. Bella kept full beneficial rights, living there. Any income, modifications, but sale, refinance, or encumbrance required trustee approval. My signature. The paperwork was flawless, recorded discreetly. Daily life unchanged. Taxes, utilities stayed in her name. Only a title search would reveal the shift. 2 weeks later, dinner at her condo felt heavy. Ethan was out networking. Bella poured wine. Sensing my tension. Promise if you need anything, you'll come to me first, I said. She laughed nervously but agreed. 3 weeks post-party, Ethan pushed refinancing for better rates and joint accounts. Bella called confused, The banker mentioned a trust issue needing documentation. Ethan raged about fraud or mistakes. Hiring a lawyer friend. My heart raced, but I stayed neutral, advising caution. Ethan grew obsessed, researching trusts, property law, piercing veils. He suggested postponing the wedding until resolved. Manipulation tactic. Create urgency. Pressure mistakes. Bella confronted me at my office. Eyes red. You think he only wants the condo? I chose words carefully. Someone who loves you wouldn't make your home a marriage condition. She left hurt, but doubt-seated. His lawyer was aggressive, demanding records. Inquiries hit the title. The countdown began. Ethan escalated, showing up at her client meetings, spreading rumors, contacting relatives with twisted stories. My firm got wind. I assured partners it stayed personal. One night, Bella whispered urgently for me to come over. In the lobby, folder in hand, she revealed overhearing Ethan on a call about securing the asset fast. The folder contained valuations, a timeline, established relationship, cohabitation, engagement, joint ownership, exit strategy. Labeled Bella Asset Acquisition. Confrontation loomed as Ethan approached, rage twisting his features. The lobby confrontation exploded. Ethan snarled accusations. Mask fully gone. You cost me months, he shouted at me. Bella stepped back, finally seeing him clearly. He mocked her design stories, belittled our grandparents as working-class lucky. I recorded every word. Bella found the other ex's stories, confirming patterns. She dropped the ring at his feet, ordering him out. He threatened lawsuits, fraud, conspiracy. I countered calmly with recordings, prior engagements evidence, fake financials. Defeated momentarily, he drove off. Bella hugged me tightly. You saved me, but predators don't quit easily. Within days, formal demands arrived claiming fraudulent conveyance. His lawyer fished for weaknesses. I know. Ethan, harassed via calls, showed up uninvited. Apartment break-in attempt rifled files. Police couldn't prove. I hired a private investigator. Ex-FBI. Within days, multiple aliases. Restraining orders. Parallel scam on a Milwaukee widow with inherited wealth. Storage unit yielded fake IDs. Forged docs. Laptop with scheme emails. Criminal territory. Wire fraud across states. We warned the Milwaukee woman. She joined forces. More victims surfaced in Detroit. St. Louis. Patterns identical. Ethan, cornered, suggested a talk at a public restaurant. We recorded, with detective nearby. His pathetic pleas crumbled under evidence. Detectives arrested him on fraud charges. Federal involvement followed interstate scams. Trial headlines blared. Bella testified powerfully. He received 18 years. Aftermath brought family reckoning. Sunday meeting in the condo exposed old resentments. Parents defended past schemes. Uncle accused overreach. Bella stood firm. The trust stays. No lending or risky investments. Boundaries set. 6 months later, Bella launched the Isabella Bennett Foundation for Financial Literacy. Workshops taught asset protection, predator recognition, legal basics. I advised pro bono. Milwaukee partner funded expansion. Victims formed a support network. A surprise letter arrived from Grandma's old friend. Enclosing her note, Grandma had foreseen my role, warrior protecting dreamer. The trust symbolized intergenerational bond. Practical caution, shielding open-hearted dreams. Tears flowed as Bella and I embraced in the transformed office space. First meeting drew 12 women sharing stories of betrayal. As Bella spoke on red flags, and I explained safeguards, shame turned to empowerment. On the terrace overlooking Chicago lights, Bella reflected. The condo wasn't her greatest asset. I was. We toasted grandparents. The trust as fortress of love and wisdom. No regrets. Sleepless nights. Ethical tightropes. Relationship risks. All worth Bella's strength. The foundation helping others. Our fortified sisterhood. Other Ethans would come. But now armed with knowledge, community, and each other. The Lillian and James Bennett Memorial Trust endures, not just dollars, but promise kept, love proven through sacrifice. Sometimes protecting family demands impossible choices, risking love to preserve it. Grandma knew, good hearts need shields. We became each other's.